Hello and thank you for tuning into Millennium Movies. So no wasting your time on this teaser trailer breakdown of The Last of Us HBO series adaptation. Let's get right into it. So this very first screen grab that we see here is Melanie Lynskey appearing in a surprise role that was not announced during casting. And you're probably asking yourself, what is this talented actress doing in this series? Who is she playing from the game? Well, actually we're learning she's playing an original character by the name of Kathleen, the ruthless leader of a revolutionary movement in Kansas City. Now, if you've played the game, you're probably asking yourself, hey, Kansas City never comes up in the main storyline. Joel and Ellie never traveled to Kansas City. Well, basically what we're learning here is that the series is just taking all the events that happen in Pittsburgh, where you go through the hotel and you deal with all the cannibalistic, bandits and the hunters, and the armored truck that comes after you and Ellie, while you're trying to get out of the city. Basically all that stuff is just being put into the Kansas City portion of this show. So that's basically the switch there. And instead of just going up against some, no-name bad guys, basically, they want to flesh out some of the more villainous characters as well, or sort of gray characters, which, Melanie Lynskey's Kathleen could be. She could be all the way bad, or like The Last of Us likes to do, like a lot of its other characters, she could just fall more in that gray spot where she's, some good and some bad. So this is very interesting to see. It looks like we're going to be spending a lot of time in the Kansas City / Pittsburgh portion of the show, where we're going to have a group of villainous characters that are, a little bit fleshed out, have a little bit of extra layers to them, and are going to be hunting Joel and Ellie as they try and escape the city and, continue their journey. So we also, I guess, get a lot of first looks here at some of these characters. Of course, we already saw Bill in the very first teaser, but as you can see here, Bill is popping up here again, walking up to Joel as, Joel seems to be in some sort of trap, maybe a different kind of trap than the one he falls into in the video game, where Bill finally does come to the rescue. But we see Bill there. We see we get a couple shots of Tess, so it's nice to know that Tess is at least here. It appears to be just more of a faithful adaptation with Tess, but hopefully we do get to learn more about her character, because Tess is one of my favorite characters in the entire Last of Us franchise. We also get to see a shot here of Marlene. I don't like Marlene in the video game. I know a lot of people do, some people don't. Just kind of mixed feelings on that character, but it's still going to be exciting to see the character of Marlene. And another thing that maybe fans might really like to see is, it's kind of hard to see here just in the sort of silhouette of the mirror, but you can kind of see, at least here, that Riley and Ellie are in the riding in the carousel here, and that's showing us that we're going to be getting some Left Behind DLC, adaptations into the series as well, whether that's through flashbacks or whether that's its own bottle episode or kind of sprinkled in throughout an episode or a couple of episodes. That remains to be seen, but we just know that we're going to be getting it. So Ellie's best friend Riley is going to be appearing in the series as well. We also get this very sneaky shot here, this very sneaky but cool looking shot of Tommy through the fire. This is probably in the opening prologue of the game, where Joel and Tommy are in their younger days, and with Joel's daughter, and they're trying to escape the city during the initial outbreak. So it's all very exciting stuff, and I think the key phrase to use here for this teaser trailer is, it seems to be a faithful adaptation of the video game, with some differences being brought in as well. And the faithful part of it is just easy to be seen. I mean, even the song that plays over the trailer is, Alone and Forsaken by Hank Williams, the song that plays in the truck while Joel and Ellie are first riding into Pittsburgh, and they get, ambushed and get thrown out of the truck. So stuff like that, where you can set the tone and say, hey, this is The Last of Us, I mean, even the shots of Joel walking through Boston. I mean, the drop back of Boston at night, where you see the disheveled towers and during the rainy dark blue sky night. I mean, man, it looks like you're playing the game. I mean, even looking at the clicker here and then hearing the clicker and the sound design on the clickers, they actually sound terrifying. They sound spine-chilling, just like they are in the game when you run across them. And it's just, everything here is looking really good. I mean, Pedro Pascal looks great as Joel. This one shot here of Bella Ramsey as Ellie, I think, when you're seeing it in the trailer and it's passing by quickly, in this shot, this is the best she's ever, I think, looked as the character of Ellie. Now, in a lot of other shots, maybe she doesn't have so much the look of Ellie yet, but hopefully, I guess in the show, what we get out of her is just more of the feel of Ellie. Does she feel like Ellie in terms of the way that her mannerisms are, the way that she acts, the way that she sounds? that remains to be seen. But in this shot here, I think it is kind of a close resemblance, and a lot of the I guess a lot of the scenarios that we're going to be seeing Joel and Ellie run across in this series, there's going to be some changes into the way the video game played out, and you have to expect that, right? We have to expect the characters, that side characters like Bill and Tess and Marlene, and again, like original characters like Melanie Lynskey's character, or Sam's character, or even with the voice actors who played Joel and Ellie, Troy Baker, and I'm forgetting Ellie's voice actor name right now, but we know that they're also in this series as well, playing original characters. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were a part of Kathleen's group. That would be a cool little twist in terms of who these characters are. Or maybe they could be characters who we meet in Tommy's, at Tommy's dam, when Tommy's, trying to refix the dam. And even that too, when they come across Tommy, we see, Joel and maybe Tommy and presumably Ellie here, or maybe Ellie and Joel and presumably Tommy with them, out there trying to fix the dam. And when Ellie runs off, the scenery in the background is a little bit different than when you get to Tommy's dam in the game, but it's still looking like, a lot of things are going to be things that you remember, just executed perhaps in a different way. Like even in this specific shot here where we see Joel, cupping his hands around Ellie's bloodied face. And if you've played the game, you absolutely know where this shot comes from in the game. It's one of the most pivotal scenes in the entire game. And it takes place inside of a burning building. But here in the show, at least in this trailer, it looks like it's taking place outside. So things of that nature are just different in that way. So, and I correct myself now. I do remember there is snow when you are coming to when you're going to rescue Ellie. So maybe that scene where Joel and presumably Ellie, or maybe even Tommy, riding out on the snow with the mountains in the background. Maybe that's not from Tommy's dam. Maybe that scene is from when Joel and Ellie are leaving from the cannibals little home area. So yeah, man, all this stuff is looking great. I'm super excited for The Last of Us HBO Max series adaptation. Again, it looks like a faithful adaptation of the game with some originality thrown in there as well. They're gonna be taking some creative liberties with this game and giving us some stuff that we've never seen and adding more to things that we already knew. So yeah, very excited here. But let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys are thinking of this teaser trailer so far. Are you hyped for The Last of Us adaptation, or are you still need to see more? Maybe you just need to wait to see the actual series before you give your own opinion. Let me know in the comment section below. Very excited here, as you can tell. But until next time, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.